This is Autoline Daily, the show dedicated to enthusiasts of the global automotive industry. China dominates the market for the raw materials needed to make EV batteries, so South Korea is trying to do something about that. The Korean Ministry of Trade launched an initiative to develop lithium iron phosphate, or LFP, battery tech in the country. As part of that, Hyundai and Kia are kicking off a 4-year project to make cathode material for LFP batteries with Hyundai's own steel manufacturing division and EcoPro-BM, a South Korean company that specializes in battery cathode materials. We think it's a pretty smart move because Hyundai steel will be used to produce high-purity fine iron powder that EcoPro-BM will then take to make cathode material for LFP batteries. They're targeting batteries with better fast charging performance, especially in cold weather. And SAIC-GM and CATL are showing that ultra-fast charging LFP batteries are possible. They'll be the first to launch an LFP battery with 6C charging capability, which they say can add over 200 kilometers or 124 miles of range in just 5 minutes. Gasgoo reports that the new battery will be used in an upgraded version of GM's Ultium platform in China that will have a high-voltage battery architecture capable of 900 volts. But, as we've said before, there's not a lot of charging stations right now that can put out that kind of power. And in one more bit of battery news, JLR is testing out the possibility of using recycled batteries. It's working with a British recycling firm, Autoline, on a pilot project to demonstrate that recycled battery production is possible at scale. Over the next year, they'll test using recycled cathode active material from used Jaguar I-Paces to make batteries to try out in new EVs from JLR. Well, it looks like Toyota had an issue with its plug-in hybrid vehicles being called Prime. People probably had little idea that Prime means that they're plug-in hybrids. So Toyota is changing their names from Prius and RAV4 Prime to Prius and RAV4 plug-in hybrid for the 2025 model year, and will also slap a PHEV badge on the back of them. With sales of plug-in hybrids picking up, it will be a good thing if Toyota can pick up some more awareness of its products. Audi's first EV from its new partnership with SAIC will launch in China next year. It's reportedly a mid-size electric that won't use Audi's 4-ring logo when it officially debuts in November. Audi and SAIC plan to launch 9 models by the end of the decade in China, which will be a needed boost because Audi only sold a little more than 30,000 vehicles in China last year. Sales of EVs in the U.S. market are not where everyone thought they would be, but they are growing faster than any other segment. Cox Automotive reports that EV sales in the third quarter were up 8% year over year and set a record of more than 338,000 vehicles. But the real big gainer was used EVs. They were up 69% in Q3 with sales of 78,000 units. And a key reason used EVs are selling strong is that the average price is just under $36,000, which is almost the same as the used ICE vehicle. It's an indication consumers clearly become interested in EVs when the price is more affordable.
Performance that shines, even in the rain. That's what really matters. Bridgestone Potenza tires, improved grip in wet conditions.
Traditional automakers are struggling to catch up to the startups when it comes to developing software-defined vehicles. And a key reason could be their hiring practices. According to a new study from Josh Bernson Company, an HR and hiring research firm, the auto industry is lagging behind other industries when it comes to bringing in software talent because of outdated hiring practices. The report says automakers are slow at hiring new workers, developing internal talent, and they need to move away from promoting workers based on tenure in favor of how skilled they are. A good source could be partnering with universities to find new young talent. But if they don't build up a skilled software workforce in the next 5 to 10 years, the study says automakers will struggle to stay competitive. And to help address that issue, Mercedes-Benz CEO Ola Källenius and other executives from the company are traveling to China to look for tech partners. The automaker is hoping to offset its sales slump in the country by offering technology that's appealing to Chinese consumers. Next year, Mercedes is launching its first EV on its new electric architecture, the CLA, and it's looking for Chinese tech partners to provide things like maps and in-car entertainment for that model. China is an important market for the company, accounting for more than a third of its sales, and it hopes that partnering with Chinese tech companies can make it even more competitive. And while Mercedes is hoping Chinese partners can help boost its sales in China, Stellantis is teaming up with Chinese companies to increase its sales in Europe. Earlier this year, it formed a joint venture with Leapmotor to sell and produce EVs in Europe, and the first models, the T03 and the C10, are now being shipped to Europe from China, which are undergoing final checks before heading to dealers. The companies also announced that production of the T03 will kick off in Poland by the end of the year, which will help them avoid Europe's new tariffs on imported Chinese EVs. The Voyager is making a return to the U.S. again. The minivan was first introduced in 1984 under the Plymouth brand, but it was axed when Plymouth was discontinued in 2000. The Voyager was then revived as a Chrysler for the 2020 model year, but it became a fleet-only option in 2022. However, it's making its comeback again as an entry-level model for Chrysler's retail lineup. But even though it calls it entry-level, the 2025 Voyager starts just over $41,000, including destination charges, which is slightly more than the base 2024 Pacifica. The Voyager comes standard with a 10.1-inch touchscreen, stow-and-go seating for the second and third rows, power sliding doors, heated seats and steering wheel, and Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. The Voyager's powertrain is the same as the non-hybrid version of the Pacifica, a 3.6-liter V6 mated to a 9-speed automatic transmission. Orders for the new Voyager are open now, and it will start arriving at dealerships in the U.S. in the fourth quarter. Ford is rolling out the latest version of its hands-free driving system. Called Blue Cruise 1.4, Ford says it will stay engaged in hands-free mode an average of 8 times longer than the original version and 5 times longer than version 1.2. Users may notice the new version makes speed adjustments more smoothly in curves and has greater in-lane stability. Ford says these updates provide a more natural driving experience. The new version will be available in select Blue Cruise-equipped 2025 Ford and Lincoln models from the factory, and a software update for select models will be made available in the future as well. Be sure to tune in to Autoline After Hours later today. We'll have car critics Mark Phelan, Henry Payne, and Greg Migliore on the show to share their unfiltered opinions on today's cars, trucks, and SUVs. Join the action at 3 p.m. Eastern Time on our website or on our YouTube channel. But that's a wrap for today's report. Thanks for tuning in.
Autoline Daily is brought to you by Bridgestone, solutions for your journey. Intrepid Control Systems, over-the-air engineering boost your game. MEDC, where Michigan businesses are powering the future of mobility. And by Teijin Automotive Technologies, the formula for better mobility.
When we did our research for the talent that we need for this program, Michigan was really the top of the list. In order to be successful in this space, you really have to have the right people, the right mindset, the right environment.
There's nothing wrong with heavy metal.
Hey, lighten up.
But with world-class composite material, Teijin Automotive Technologies makes vehicles lighter, safer, and more eco-friendly.
Developing today's vehicles. Issues can happen in an instant. When's the best time to solve a problem? The minute you know you have one. Meet Wireless NeoVi Cloud. your secure, off-the-shelf solution empowering real-time collaboration for quick resolution. With wireless Neovi Cloud, your team can prevent issues before they can escalate. Driver communication data and remote diagnostics to analyze and resolve your problems using OTA, allowing your executives oversight throughout the process. Wireless Neovi Cloud, your vehicle update solution in production and on the road. Intrepid Control Systems, driven by your data.